All right, we are back. Well, thank you everybody for being here. Thank you for tuning in. I have another very special interview that I wanted to share with the world. We have a lovely, lovely lady, a client and a friend of ours named Paula. And she has a pretty cool story that I think a lot of people would be able to get a lot of hope and inspiration from. So we wanted to bring her on here and just give her a chance to speak and let everybody know what's been going on with her life, because it's some very, very, very cool stuff. So without further ado, Miss Paula, could you please introduce yourself, let everybody know who you are and what you're about?
Hi, yeah, my name's Paula, and I have a long history of discomfort and pain and not great things happening to me, but I've had a great life up till, well, most of my life anyway. I'm a nurse by trade, and I loved being a nurse. That was lots of fun, and it got pretty hard near the end when I wasn't feeling great. But I had a lot of pain, and it was diagnosed as all kinds of different things. For instance, fibromalagia and arthritis and that kind of stuff. And that it started like 20 years ago. So it just kind of morphed after that. Um, I dealt with lots of leg pain and just pain in my muscles, and it created less mobility. And so therefore I was less healthy, because people need to move to be healthy.
That's
And
definitely true.
totally true. And in 2011, I had a bladder lift that actually I reacted to, but it was never diagnosed properly because it came on slowly. So I was dealing with severe chronic pelvic pain and with no diagnosis, no reason. So I went to all kinds of doctors to try to find out what it was. And eventually, the doc that did it proved to me that it wasn't that, but she didn't exactly go and have a good look to see where the mesh was. She didn't look right there. She looked at my bladder, and it didn't prove anything. So I had tons of urinary tract infections. I would have a new one every month. So you can imagine
Wow,
what that does to your system.
for sure.
I just felt even worse sick from all the medications I was taking. I was
Hmm.
on medications for pain, inflammation, strong medications for years. And I finally got diagnosed with Lyme disease, and I'm not sure where that comes in with all of this, but probably because I was on so many medications and antibiotics that my body couldn't fight anything off. So I dealt with Lyme, so that meant more antibiotics and more medications.
Hmm.
And eventually, however, I was put in Lyme remission. A doc prescribed me a very strong antibiotic, and I was in Lyme remission a couple months. I got tested after that, so that was kind of the start of like turning things around.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
then I got myself off of the worst medication, the strongest pain medication. I suspected it didn't really work anymore. And so I was on two or three really strong ones, and plus several other kinds of medications to assist. So I got myself off of those and started my getting off medication plan of my own, all on my own. I made sure I knew how to do it safely, because you
Right.
have to do these things safely. So I did that, and of course, I still had pain, but
Hmm.
it wasn't worse than it was with the medication. Without it,
Right.
um, I took no more medication. I took a little bit of ibuprofen. That was it, and that certainly doesn't help. Didn't help anything at all. It really barely gave me any relief. But I just felt like I needed to take something because I still had lots of pain. And anyway, my plan was to get off everything eventually, and
Hmm.
I didn't know when I would. I was still took a bunch of other like stomach pills and pill to prevent urinary tract infections every night. So I mean, I still had to take stuff that was affecting my body in so many ways, and I just knew it wasn't good for me, and I knew I had an exit plan, but I wasn't sure what it was
Right.
to get off the medication. So um, just about not quite a year ago, maybe 10 months ago, I met a lady who had worked with these people, holistic health practitioners. So she told me about Ron and Justin, and she connected me with his website, and I started listening to their information and kind of saw what they're about, and I met them and started on their plan. They, the foundation is change what you're drinking, and then
Mm-hmm.
start changing what you're eating. And then we talked some more, and I eventually got on a coaching program. And now it's, I don't know, like 8 or 9 months, about 9 months later, I think, and I'm down 60 pounds.
Whoop,
And
whoop.
the fibromalagia is gone. Like it's not there.
That is
I
awesome.
still have some inflammation that I'm dealing with, but I mean, I have changed in leaps and bounds as far as my comfort level
Sure.
and quality of life. My quality of life is way better than it was like 9 months ago. So
Right.
it's been like earth moving for me. And I mean, I look better, I feel better. I know it's better for my body. I'm eating food that my body is digesting better, and
Right.
I know this is I'm gonna continue with this because I want to be even healthier,
Mm-hmm.
and I know that Ron and Justin can help me get there. So I am still excited about my health and my life. At the time I met them, I was thinking I was going to end up in a nursing home with Walker, and it was not looking good. So I was ready
I
for a
remember.
change.
I remember. Those first few meetings back in the beginning, just even like trying to get you to trying to figure out any way that you could consistently move, like going for a walk, just doing a lap around the island in the kitchen, like anything. It was a bit of a struggle, but we found a way to make it work, and one thing led to another, and now you're here, and you're. Is it true you're going into the 100-mile marathon race next week?
Yeah, no, not going there yet.
No, not yet.
I'll be a hike up a mountain, like that's
Yeah.
or to you just hike on a flat
Hmm.
for a 5 mile hike or a 10 mile hike. Just go out in nature. That's my biggest goal, is to
Yeah.
get out and be able to go and walk in nature and be comfortable.
Totally.
And yeah, and I believe that I'll do it. I didn't know before, but
Right.
I'm getting closer.
Yeah.
So
Totally.
I'm
Totally. I mean, when we're talking about trying to, undo decades of damage to the human body, I mean, to see results like this in less than a year, when the problems have been manifesting and spreading and getting worse and worse and progressing for, over 20 years, like you've done some serious work. You've done an awesome, awesome job, and it's showing. It's showing.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm very thankful that I found somebody who knew how to heal people without medications, like, and that are harmful to you. And like, I had to get all of those medications out of my body, and this has been
Sure.
a real for the last 9 months, and I
Yeah.
probably am still.
Totally. Well, I mean, it's very simple thing. Like once you, just like we talked about so many times before, but once you get the need for the medication gone and handled, then the pill doesn't have to be there anymore. You have the
Yeah,
option to function without it. And like I think that's the main goal that pretty much everybody that wants to get off medication really wants, is just, to not have to take the pill, right? Whatever it's for, headaches, pain, nausea, anything. And you're walking, talking proof that can be done. And especially, you're doing amazing for your age, but you're not 20 years old anymore. And so to get all this accomplished at the stage of life that you're in, considering how much you had to fight against in the beginning, like, if you ask me, that's a miracle.
it is for me. Like, I never thought I'd be at the weight I am now
Mm-hmm.
again. I
Mm-hmm.
never thought I would be able to do it. I couldn't see it happening, but it actually it it actually fell off. Like, it wasn't.
Right.
It it just it did. The things that you do, and they're not harsh. They're not weird. And they're very natural. They don't hurt you. Nothing hurts you. It's not like, when people take medications to
Mm-hmm.
lose weight. And I just feel so bad that everybody doesn't know about this, because it just works.
For sure.
And it's gentle. It's gentle, and it's
Yeah.
at your own pace.
Yeah,
and
and it's
and
just
I
just going with the natural way that your body's already trying to do stuff, and then everything
yeah
just it gets to work synergistically instead of just trying to, fight against and overpower and change and biohack and all this stuff. It just especially like in a situation with yours where everything was so sensitive in the beginning. I mean, like none of those options would have really been possible because you wouldn't have been able to live your life long enough for it to actually work, even if you could find one that was going to be helpful for you. Just adding on side effects on top of side effects to the stuff you're already dealing with, just it wasn't an option.
yeah yeah totally. No, this was so much kinder to my body, and it was wonderful to know that I was doing it in a good way for my body, and I just knew it was good.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
I, like any other way, like all the other ways that I would be offered out in the system, wouldn't have been good for my body.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah, and I'm very thankful for that.
Well, we're very thankful to have you around. One question I try to ask everybody that I can: what do you think is this like the biggest thing, the biggest change that you made, or the thing that had the biggest impact to get you from where you were to where you are now, and then where you're going? Like if you had to pick, something, or just try to have a teaching moment to anyone who's watching, like what was the thing that you did that you think had the biggest change in you?
Well, I think it was probably steps, maybe.
Okay.
For starters, changing my water.
Mm-hmm.
Like within a couple of weeks, I started waking up in the morning, and I couldn't wake up till like 9 o'clock every day for years.
Right.
And I started waking up, 6:30 or 7, and I hadn't done that for years. And I used to be an
That's
early
pretty
riser.
cool.
Yeah, so like that happened within 2 weeks. So
Mm-hmm.
that's obviously the changing of my brain, I believe.
Sure.
And water helped to hydrate. I'm not sure what it does. It does lots of
It
things.
does a lot. Yeah.
It lots, and it's just like it's not a little thing. It is a big thing. So that was probably the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
and then the detoxing. Getting your bowels moving and making sure that everything's um, getting rid of your excess food that's not supposed to be there, that you
Sure.
need to important. And I know that it's important, and you guys really push that moving your bowels is a really big deal, and regularly.
Totally.
So
Totally it is.
I didn't think I had any trouble in that department particularly, except from the medication I took.
Mm.
But I mean, obviously, just getting things moving easily made a huge difference, and I
Right.
think that was a big deal. And probably changing the food that I ate, and how I cleaned it,
Mm-hmm.
and adding less things with toxins in them. And I mean, I don't eat much prepared food anyway, but just make sure that everything I eat is clean as possible. And it's hard to be perfect, especially when you live in the country. I don't have access to daily organic stuff, but I do my
Sure.
best and
Sure.
food. And I think everything made a difference. Just probably everything, and over time,
Right.
it's
Right.
it is so possible to get healthy.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
And
you're totally right. I mean, just like what you just mentioned about how like you don't have access to all the resources that you would want to in an ideal perfect world, but even with that, even with your limited access to all these different things, the good food, the normal modern amenities and things like that, you were still able to do enough to make it work and get the job done. And I think that's the most important part, because there's a lot of people out there and they're like, well, I can't have this and I don't have access to that and this is too far away or that's too expensive or whatever, but you just didn't let that stop you. You're just like, this is what I'm doing. I believe it can be done. I'm not going to quit till it gets done. That kind of thing. It's like
right,
like
and
that
you got
classic Paula
that.
mindset.
Yeah. Well, I can be pretty stubborn, and
I have no idea what you're talking about. That's completely what you that no, that's definitely incorrect. That can't be right. We're talking about different people.
yeah, I know you are, but I believed it because you guys, like, I mean, I believe what you told me, because you know what you're talking about, and you can
Hmm.
tell you guys have a lot of information, and you always had an answer about science. And I would ask,
Sure.
like, why does this work, and what do you need to do that for? And you help me with that too, because I need to know the whys.
Sure. Well, I mean,
So
especially with your nursing background, you had a
that,
very unique ability to ask more advanced questions than I think probably most people would be able to. But then on a double end, also be able to understand the answers a lot deeper because you have all your background with the anatomy and the physiology and all that kind of stuff. So you can connect a lot of the dots that other people might not be able to. Just because, I mean, when you spend decades as a nurse, like, you learn a thing or two. You become a pretty intelligent person. So, that was something I really liked actually about you. Is you always had really, really good questions.
yeah, well, I like to know the why of things, and
Hmm.
I'm interested in science and biology and why do things work, because I need to know. And
Hmm.
you always knew what to tell me. So I don't think you made it up, because it made sense. So it's been really good, and I really appreciate the information, and I love all the information about health
Awesome.
and what I've learned the last few months. Um, uh, Different ways of being healthy and
Hmm.
looking after health concerns and things that come up. It
Hmm.
is
Hmm.
really empowering knowing that you don't have to run to a pill or
Sure.
run to like something that's not good for you in other ways.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I love learning all that, and that has really drawn me to your program.
That's awesome.
And I
That's
really
awesome.
appreciate it.
That's
Yeah.
really cool. Because that's something we always talk about. I think I just have this belief. Let me know if I'm wrong, but like, if you're an adult human being, you should know how to take care of your body if that's what you want to do. Not everybody's going to choose the healthy option. Of course, I understand that, but I believe everybody on Earth should have the ability to, if that's what they want, because they have the education, they have the training, they have all these things. And like most of the stuff that we teach, like, honestly, should have been taught in school. Like, everybody should just know this, just like they know how to drive a car and ride a bike, because we all have bodies, we all have a heart, we all have a colon, we all have a brain, like all these things that just everyone should know how to live healthy if that's what they want to do. And just a lot of people don't, unfortunately.
Yeah. And some people just don't know.
For sure.
And that's the sad part. They probably would if they knew.
For sure.
And
For
certainly
sure.
I would have done it differently if I knew.
Yeah.
If I had met you guys sooner, like I did it very much like I was taught.
Hmm.
And I was a nurse, and this is how you did it in that system.
Right. Right.
And I don't necessarily go along with all that anymore, because I don't want to do things that hurt me or hurt other people.
Right.
And I'm thankful that I don't have to. Like, there's other ways, and
Hmm. Hmm.
it's empowering, really empowering. And I wish I could tell the world and everybody would listen, but they're not ready to yet. And maybe I wasn't at one time either. So,
Sure.
but I really would like to see people learn about this, and it still surprises me that it's not it's not well known that you can do things in a kind, natural way to your body,
For sure.
and it's not as common as it's supposed to be.
I agree. I agree. But that's what we're changing. We're on that mission. We're making it work, one person at a time, one family at a time. We're getting there.
It's hard to
So,
keep quiet.
yeah, it is, isn't it? It is. It's like, think about how fast people talk about movies or the new phone or a car or whatever, whatever. When people learn that this kind of stuff is possible, I mean, I don't know of anything that'll spread faster. I'm looking forward to it. I've been waiting for this moment my whole life, and it's coming. It's coming real soon.
You bet. I think so too.
Yeah. So thank you, Paula. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Just if you won't mind, can you close out for us? Like, do you have any final words of encouragement, any advice, like a lesson anybody can take from your story? Anything you want people to leave with, just if they get all the way to the end and they watch this all the way through, like what's something that you want people to take home from this?
I want them to take home that they are worth it, and they should listen to people who know more about health. Um, you can get healthy at any time in your life. I didn't think I had any hope, but I have found tons of hope here, and um, it's possible, and it's worth it, and it's not really hard. It's not. It's I don't know. I've done lots of different ways of eating and different treatments and therapies. Like, this is not that hard, and you just have, it's all it is you commit to yourself and commit to
That's cool.
a plan how to live your life, and it's so possible, and everybody can do it, and it works. It just works.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. I mean, don't try to sell them too much, because like we got a reputation to uphold. You know, we're the hardened, badass personal trainer types. You know, drop and give me 20. So we can't let them think it's going to be too easy. Otherwise, you know, we're not going to scare them. But
It's not easy, but it's so possible.
that's
And
awesome.
it's not really, really hard. Anybody can do it.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for
Awesome.
your time. I'm excited to see what people think about this, because like I said, you know, in the beginning, I really do truly believe that your story, just you being this example that you are, can be a light in the world that can give a lot of people hope. You know, and just like you mentioned a couple times, the hope, it's just such an important thing, because if people don't have enough hope, you know, most people won't even start. And if they don't start, they'll never know how far they can go, you know? So just thank you very much for your time. Thank you for being so open and honest and willing to share all this stuff. It's not exactly the most public information that people typically like to share, but, you know, like you said, you want more people to know about this kind of thing. So I respect
Well,
that, and I appreciate it a lot.
for sure, I'm not scared to share my story because it's my life.
For sure.
And I thank you and Ron and Elle for all your help. Like, you guys have supported like many of us, and I've met so many people who have been helped hugely, and I cannot believe, you know, what you can do.
Mm,
And like, you can do things that people don't think is possible, but it
totally.
is.
Totally. I mean, you know, people don't believe me. Like when I say, like, I don't really want to take every Sunday off. I enjoy my work and all that kind of stuff. Like a lot of the time they're just like, oh, he has to say that because his dad's watching or something, you know? But like when you get in the middle of it, like you have, and you get to see the stuff that we get to do, I mean, like, you know, there's nothing I'd rather do on the planet. Not even close.
People need to see it to believe it,
I think so too.
unfortunately. You know, and like, it is hard to believe a lot of the stuff that you do. Like,
Sure.
it's hard to believe.
Sure.
I get it. Like,
Yeah.
and me saying out loud some of the things that happen to some of the people that have been healed.
Right.
It's just like, yeah, are you crazy? You know, it's just like that doesn't happen. But I've seen the people,
Yeah.
you know, with
Yep.
you guys.
I mean,
Um,
it's not paid actors. Like we got people that try to say that, you know, on the internet, but I mean, they're not paid actors. You know, they're real people. I'm sorry to say,
I,
they are
I
genuine, honest people.
I have conversations with them,
Right.
and I ask, I want to hear, is this true? And
Mm-hmm.
what was it like for you? And they tell me their stories. It's like, wow. Like, and there's so many stories, and
Totally.
all you have to look on your website
Right.
just to read them and see them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And like, they're real people. They're not actors, and they're people I talk to several times a week, some of them.
Yeah.
So I know what they've been through, and it's
Exactly.
been tough. Yeah, but they're doing amazing.
Yeah, they are. Just like you. I'm uh
Yeah,
I'm excited for the 2-year update. That's gonna be gnarly.
yeah.
That's gonna be
No,
cool.
you bet.
Awesome. Okay. Well, again, thank you, Paula. Thank you so much. Have an amazing day. I don't want to keep you too much longer. Just, you know, thank you for being awesome. And maybe next time we can include some hair care tips. You know, how people can get flowing, luscious hair like you. Obviously, I need a little bit of it because mine's a little bit short.
Just wait till you get the gray hair, then I'll tell you about it.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna hold you to that.
Okay.
Okay. See ya. Have a great day,
Thank
Paula.
thank you too.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Justin.
Bye.